All of you welcome. It is the fourth and last part of the chapter World in the 20th Century.
In this part, the first topic is the non-aligned movement. Following the Second World War, many Asian, African and Latin American countries became independent. They realized that the Cold War was yet another phase of imperialism and that it would threaten world peace. The liberated nations decided not to join any of the blocs and formed the non-aligned movement. That is, after the Second World War, many Asian, African and Latin American countries became independent. They decided not to join the capitalist bloc and socialist bloc and formed non-aligned movement. The idea of the non-aligned movement was mooted at a meeting held Bandung in Indonesia in 1955. The first conference of the non-aligned countries was held in Belgrade in 1961. Non-alignment does not mean to keep aloof from world affairs. Rather, it is to face many issues we confront. Jawaharlal Nehru said, indicating the objectives of the movement. That is, the main objective of this movement was to solve the problems that they faced. These are the pictures of the leaders who introduced the concept of non-alignment movement. They are Jawaharlal Nehru, India; Gamal Abdul Nasser, Egypt; Marshal Tito, Yugoslavia; and Ahmad Sukarno, Indonesia. Next topic is Balfour Declaration. Until the First World War, the territory including Palestine was part of the Turkish Empire. As Turkey was defeated in the war, Britain took over the region. Since the Jews helped Britain in the war, the then British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour declared the establishment of a Jewish nation in West Asia as a reward. It is known as Balfour Declaration.
Zionism. It is an international movement with an objective of the establishment of a homeland for the Jews. In the earlier part of this chapter, we have learned the problems of Jews. So, Zionism is an international movement with an objective of the establishment of homelands for the Jews. The next topic is Palestine Liberation Organization. In 1948, the nation Israel was formed. Consequently, many wars broke out between Israel and the Arab nations. Israel seized Palestine, expelling the Palestinians from their homeland. The Palestinian refugees migrated to various Arab countries. In this context, with an objective of establishing a nation for the Palestinians, a movement called Palestine Liberation Organization or PLO was founded with Yasser Arafat as the president. The next topic is Oslo Pact. What is Oslo Pact? After a series of bloodsheds and massacres, Israel agreed in principle to recognize Palestine as a free nation. This agreement, mediated by the US, is called the Oslo Pact. The next topic is the disintegration of the Soviet Union. The disintegration of the Soviet Union is one of the significant events in the last decade of the 20th century. Let us see what led to the disintegration of Soviet Union. They are, first one, the administrative measures of Mikhail Gorbachev, Glasnost and Perestroika. Glasnost and Perestroika were Mikhail Gorbachev's two administrative reforms in Soviet Union. Second one, deviation from the basic principles of socialism. Third one, corruption and inefficiency of the bureaucracy. More about bureaucracy you will learn in the next chapter. And fourth one, failure in bringing about changes in economic sector. These are the causes of the disintegration of Soviet Union. Next topic is unipolar world or American dominance. America emerged as a global power and center of world politics following the disintegration of Soviet Union. This is called unipolar world order. That is, after the disintegration of Soviet Union, America became the global power. Several strategies were adopted by America to establish its dominance over the world. Let's see what they are. First one, utilizing international agencies, America provided financial and military aids to countries of the world. Second, extended military alliances. And third one, media were used to promote America's vested interest. Once more, utilizing international agencies. And second one, extended military alliances. And third one, medias were used to promote America's vested interest. These are the strategies were adopted by America to establish its dominance over the world. The next topic is the neo-imperialism. In the post-war period, a new kind of imperialism emerged. The multinational companies began to interfere in the economic, social and cultural sectors of the third world countries for serving the interests of the capitalist countries. It is known as the neo-imperialism. New economic policy. Globalization, liberalization and privatization are the concepts of new imperialism. Among the concepts of new economic policy, liberalization is the first one. It is the adoption of liberal regulations and taxation systems to facilitate the import of multinational products to domestic market. That is, reduce the regulations to facilitate the import of multinational products to domestic markets. Second concept is privatization. Privatization of public sector undertakings is an attempt to promote private sector. The third concept of new economic policy is globalization. Which are the features of globalization? First one, economic system of the country linked to global economy. That is, economic system of all countries linked. That is the new concept of global village. Second one, the interest and motives of the multinational companies protected. That is, gave more importance to the interest of multinational companies. Third one is competition-driven market came into existence. That is, large number of producers engaged in competition. And the fourth one is transported flow of products, services, raw materials, capital, latest technology and human resources facilitated. That is, free flow of goods and services from one country to another country. These are the features of globalization. Last topic, challenges faced by the developing countries. Which are the challenges faced by the developing countries? They are the intervention of multinational companies challenged the concept of nation state. All countries gave more importance to the interest of the multinational companies. So it challenged the concept of nation state. Second, led to the destruction of indigenous culture. Led to the destruction of traditional culture. Third one, price of agricultural products plunged or decreased. Fourth one, public sector undertakings were destroyed. That is, gave more importance to private sector. Fifth one, government withdrew from social service sectors. That is, government reduced the welfare activities. And last one, natural resources were looted. That is, natural resources were exploited more. These are the challenges faced by the developing countries.
Okay, in the next video we will discuss the new chapter. Thank you.